Well, welcome back to part 2 of my unboxing of my new Parkzone Mosquito. Just wanted to point out it is not the ultra micro Mosquito, as you can see. Really happy that I've got this model, and I'm sure anybody else that goes out and takes the plunge and gets one will be. It's really pretty, just literally sitting. I mean, I really can't wait to get this one in the air. As I did say in the previous video, I did go for the recommended E-Flight Retracts. I'll just see if we can get up in there and point out everything fitted in there really nicely, straight bolting. Modified all the suspension, well, excuse me, suspension legs, it's the undercarriage legs. I did get supplied the matching ones to the E-Flight Retracts for the aircraft for free. They were supplied for free. Again, really simple job. The only thing I would point out there is I put the retracts into the wing sections before I put the model together, and committed myself obviously in putting the undercarriage legs into the actual retract. I would advise that you put the retracts in after you've built the model if you can, because I found the angle was all wrong and the aircraft was crabbing and all sorts. So again, then it had to be stripped down and retracts taken out to adjust it again. So I'd suggest just putting them in there last, and you've only got to adjust it once. Only other little really thing I did notice, bit of a bad point, is that most Parkzone models do supply magnets or the new little push button hatches. This is the battery hatch, nice and scale. And you've got the receiver cover, which has got all your wires and your elevator and aileron servo inside. But they fitted them with these silly little twist latches, which really are not up to the job. As you can see, it's ever so loose there. I've tightened this screw several times and it doesn't stay tight. So there is a bit of a risk there of losing one of the hatches. I probably will install magnets on it before I fly the model, just to be safe about it. I've done exactly the same thing down here with the receiver hatch, which again is nice and loose. I did fit all the flaps and bits. The servos are still uncovered. That's another job for this evening. They do supply a new sticker which goes over the top, so obviously you're not left touching it up or painting it. The only touch-ups that are needed are just where the flaps have been cut. As you can see, flaps been cut from the inboard section there of the nacelle, and it's been cut on the outboard section of the nacelle. Everything really went together well. As I said before in the last video, it's amazing. These props, these spinners are balanced really nicely. I run it up earlier and it's dead silent. It does make a nice sort of whistle from the air pressure, which I'm sure will sound fantastic in the air. Now, because I fitted the E-Flight Retracts, I did have a little bit of problems in building the model when I was pulling the wires through for the retracts. Hard job. Took me about an hour and a half. There's a lot of messing about trying to get all of the wires through just a couple of tiny little tunnels. But anyway, got there in the end. There is a tiny few marks on the model. It's only where I had to get a bit firm with it with certain parts to get them on. I've marked it where the airplane was upside down, but no problem. I've got a little touch up for that. It's just literally a bit of a paint scuff. Anyway, enough of just looking. So I promised before which how the E-Flight Retracts worked. I'll just move the model a moment, and we can have a little look at it all running up and the retracts working. It is a very light model. I noticed with it that it's not really much heavier than the Parkzone Spitfire. Right, we're already all binded up. That's an easy job. If I just show you the flaps, I did have a servo slow for the flaps, but she didn't really want to know, it kept twitching, so I'd rather just keep it like this. Everything works beautifully. The other little gimmicky thing which I thought was really nice was the way they'd run the inboard flap all the way through to the outboard flap. So it's just a single servo per wing for both of the flaps. Everything works in unison very nicely. It is very, very solid. It's a really solid model. I'm not going to go and bend and pull it about because it is brand new, but retracts all work lovely. Like I say again, make sure you get the alignment of the wheels correct, because it does mess about with them retracting into the base. It did come supplied with the open doors for the retracts, and all drops down in there nicely. Everything comes up, everything locks very nicely, there is no movement there, there's no rattle like you do get in most retracts. The only rattle there is just where the wheel's got a slightly bigger hole in it, but I expect that'll help nicely on grass. I did buy some scale wheels for this because I didn't like the original foam wheels. It just ruined the look of the model. I've had to end up keeping them on there because the wheels I bought, these ones here, are just slightly too wide when you put it through the undercarriage leg. There is not quite enough tip of the leg pointing out that you can secure the wheel, so I'd rather be safe and just keep standard wheels. I have painted them grey, the same colour as the aircraft, just to make them look a bit more scale. It looked a bit silly in white. But all looks nice on the underneath as well, which is important because you are generally looking up at it. Another nice little gimmicky thing was the way they'd set the control arm to come out to the rudder. I probably will end up just painting this outer cable the same colour as the aircraft, just to blend it in a little bit. Now, I did do some ground testing today, and I did find that the tail wheel is slightly out of alignment, so I wouldn't trust it straight out of the box. I would go up into the bay there, and it is just like a normal control arm where you've got your little twisty adjuster on there, so you can adjust it. So it is slightly out. Ground handling earlier, really nice. Even on pretty short grass, it did have a tendency to want to nose over. So make sure you do fly it from a normal length grass, nothing major. If I just run it up here, you'll hear how smooth everything is. That is literally an 1/8 of throttle, and the aircraft is nearly wanting to move. I won't run it up to full throttle because the kids are in bed. Like I say again, really happy. There's no flex on the wing, so it should have a good wing loading. None of that pitch up and prepare for the wings to fold in half. The paint job on it as well is another thing to point out. It has got a really nice paint job on it. Another Mosquito I looked at sort of a year back that I looked at buying. The paint job just let the model down, so I didn't end up getting it. This could probably benefit from a slight bit of weathering, so any of you guys out there that are really into your modelling and like to weather your models, give them that more scale look, this would really benefit from it as well. It does look very nice as it is, and it is hard to commit yourself to starting to dirty up the model when it is brand new. So we'll give it its maiden first before I decide what I'm going to do with it.